that will bring the speed of the car down, okay? And the idea is to have progressive braking, so each time you press it, thickness of a pound coin, thickness of a pound coin, and just as you come to a stop, lift it the thickness of a pound coin, and that'll give a nice gentle stop then.
What's progressive mean?
So that the car brakes more and more until it comes to a stop.
I just press it and on my motorbike I just pull the two levers and I stop.
Yeah, this car brings this brake brings the car gently to a stop in a more safe manner, so that you're less likely to skid. If you brake suddenly, you're more likely to skid.
Oh yeah, that's probably why people keep running the back of my moped.
Yeah, again, if you brake suddenly, someone's going to go into the back of you as well.
Well,
Okay. So then moving on to the clutch. So if you take your
yeah,
foot...
get back on the brake.
Right, okay.
Look at your pictures.
Oh, right, okay. So when you put your brake pedal on,
Yeah.
it's going to put your brake lights on the back of the car. That's going to signal to following vehicles or following traffic that you're going to start braking, so they should be able to react. So when you decide you need to brake, you do it in plenty of time and gently, so that vehicles will see your brake lights come on and they won't have to react so suddenly.
Oh, so the brake lights tell them that I'm going to do what?
You're going to slow down.
Oh, right. And that... I suppose... Do the brake lights get brighter if I'm going to stop then?
No, your brake lights will just stay on all the while you're pressing your brake pedal.
Oh, so it tells them I'm going to slow down and I might stop, I suppose.
And you might stop. Yeah.
These are lifelines I'm giving you.
I know.
Yeah?
I know.
That's alright, don't worry.
Okay, so yeah, okay.
So you're fine. You're fine by me giving you the lifelines now. You won't need them next time, yeah?
Hopefully. Okay. So moving on to the clutch.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, with your left foot,
Yeah.
your pedal on the left is
Yeah.
the clutch pedal. This one you can press right down to the floor. So if you put your
That's the
left
one for
foot
just the
on
seat, isn't it?
That's the one that adjusts the seat, yeah. So if you use the ball of your foot, put your pedal, foot on that, that's it, press it right down to the floor.
I can use it if I can.
No, only use your left foot.
Oh, left foot. Alright.
Okay. And what that does, the clutch disengages the...
Debs has lost the keys.
I've lost the keys.
Don't worry, we can find that.
I've got them. The clutch disengages the engine from the wheels, basically.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, so the clutch, you have two clutch plates, basically. So when you press the clutch, the plates are apart, so the engine's not engaged with the wheels. So as you bring the clutch up, the clutch plates will get slowly together and they'll start rubbing together. That's when you start getting something called a biting point, and you'll recognise that because the pitch of the engine changes, the sound of the engine changes.
Alright.
Okay, so you can hold the car there at the biting point when you're doing your observations and getting ready to move away when you're preparing the car. Okay, then when you want to pull away, you would have to engage the engine, which means you then will be lifting your foot off the clutch and pressing the accelerator, thickness of a pound coin, and then the engine will be engaged and the car will start moving. And that's how the clutch will work.
Right, so you can actually get me involved in this a bit, can't you? When the engine's running, on the back of the engine we've got a plate that's spinning all the time, yeah?
Okay.
When the car's in gear and you start to bring the clutch up as you were doing the right thing with your hands, yeah? The plates are getting closer together, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
And when it gets to the biting point, the plates are just about mating together.
Mm-hmm.
And the spinning plate is trying to move the plate that's not spinning, yeah?
Right.
Then as you come past the biting driving point, then they are just about trying to move each other.
Mm-hmm.
And then as you come a fraction higher, then the plates mate together a bit more, and that's what starts the car moving, yeah?
Right, okay.
And then when the clutch is fully up, the plates are locked in together, yeah?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Right. Okay, so shall I go through that again?
Yeah.
Okay, so you have two plates. There you go. Put your hands up. You've got
Oh.
your 2 plates. You've got your engine plate.
Yeah.
You've got your engine plate and you've got the clutch plate.
Yeah.
Okay. So the clutch plates, when the clutch is off,
When the engine's running,
when the engine's running,
there's a plate on the back of the engine that's spinning.
the plate at the back of the engine,
Yeah.
the spinning.
Yeah.
Okay. And the clutch plates
It's not spinning.
is not spinning.
Yeah.
So when you depress the clutch plate is not spinning. So as you bring the clutch up, the clutch starts trying to rub against the, as it starts to reach biting point,
Yeah.
It
They
starts
start to
to-
mate together. Yeah.
mate together with the engine plate. And then as you lift your clutch up and start to press the accelerator, it's of a pound coin, they start to work together
Yeah.
and the
yeah.
engine pulls forward.
Yeah. Don't worry about the accelerator. You're just talking about the clutch. Yeah.
Okay, as you bring the clutch up, they start to work together and the engine pulls the car forward.
Well, we get to what we call the biting point, don't we?
Yeah, you get to the biting point, so they're rubbing against each other and they start to mate together, and then as you lift your clutch up,
Yeah. So they're just
they work
about.
together and pull the car forward.
Yeah. So at biting point, the plates are just about skimming each other, aren't they?
Okay.
And then a thickness of a pound coin above that. Bring the clutch up another thickness of a pound coin, and you're going to be on biting driving point, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's where the plate on the back of the engine is actually starting to move the plate on the back of the gearbox, yeah. Which in turn goes to the front wheels in this car and starts moving the car very, very slowly, yeah.
Okay.
And then as the clutch comes fully up, the plates lock together, and that's what gives the drive
And that makes the car go forward. Drives
through the
car.
gearbox to the front wheels, yeah.
Okay.
Right, you can hold it there for a second,
Yeah,
relax.
remember that. Okay.
Let me start this engine up and I'll put a bit of heat up here. Hello, Phil.
Oh, alright.
Sorry?
Not bad.
Yeah, it's nerve-wracking, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah? Yeah, so if you go back to the beginning, it's all about detail, isn't it? Yeah, it's not really a matter of you getting right down to the end.
This bit here, though, I'm getting seating and steering seems to be one thing. Because to adjust the backrest, you need to sort the steering out.
Well, he's showing you two different pictures there, isn't he?
Oh, I suppose so you can move the steering
Yeah.
up and down. Is he likely to start playing with that then?
No, I wouldn't actually go with the steering going up and down, yeah?
Okay. But then you're left with the position of the steering, which I've just covered in the seat.
Yeah, it's important with the seat you cover the bit you sit on,
Yeah.
the backrest and the head restraint, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no good trying to cover the fact that or not cover the fact that the steering wheel does adjust, yeah? Because it's very important they can see the dials, isn't it?
Right, yeah. So basically I can say, right, so your steering, for this bit, I've already covered the bit that it's in the right place for holding, so here it's just a case of pointing out that, right, so your steering's in the right place so you can see the dials. And you've got
Yeah, I mean we're not just looking at the odd car having adjustable steering now. It's nearly every car's
Yeah.
got it, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I would cover it.
Okay.
And hence that's why it's on there, yeah?
Yeah.
So if you say to me, sitting in your seat now, can you see the dials of the car? If I can't, well then I'm going to have to move the, because if the wheel was too low, it might be blocking out the speedo.
Okay. Alright.
So they may just say to you at that point, to keep the lesson flowing, oh yeah, I can see them all right, yeah? Then it doesn't need adjusting. But it's all about detail, yeah? Don't be trying to move on too quickly, yeah? Yeah, with the mirrors you got me to adjust them, and then you were quite willing to move off them, yeah?
Yeah.
I need to know about the different glasses, yeah?
Yeah.
And then I need to be able to have a look around and understand it.
Yeah.
Then there's the blind spots,
And the blind spot.
yeah?
Yeah.
So we start off with the door. I need to be able to close it properly. and that's why it's a good idea when you get in and you close it, is leave it on that first latch, because
The light.
yeah, I mean that works in most cars, yeah.
Mhm.
Obviously, you will need a backup as well, and the backup is the rattle, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And on most cars nowadays, if you try to drive away with the door slightly open, it'll set an alarm off on the dashboard anyway, yeah?
Yeah. Okay. All right then.
Yeah, so then we move down to the handbrake. And the reason why that's in the DH-SSM is that because I'm moving around trying to adjust that seat, if we were parked on a slight incline and the handbrake was not hard enough, then the car could possibly start rolling, yeah?
Mhm.
Yeah, and then we move down to the seat. There's 3 areas of the seat that needs adjusting. A bit that I sit on, the backrest. And even if I don't need to move the backrest, I need to know how to move it, yeah?
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's a head restraint, it's not a headrest, is it?
Head
Yeah?
restraint. Yeah. Yeah.
Then we've got the steering. Yeah, if I put my hands on the top of the wheel
Mhm.
and I'm stretching too much, then yeah, there's 2 ways of adjusting that. You know, I could adjust the rake at the back of the seat,
Mhm.
or I could adjust the steering itself, yeah?
Mm. Yeah. Okay.
And obviously the seat belts. Yeah, the one thing you missed out on the seat belts. Can you remember what?
Oh, giving it a pull to make sure it locks, is it? Or
No, there's legal requirements with the seat belts. You told me about the
make sure
doors
it's
at the
not
back
frayed or got any cuts.
that legally now it's my responsibility that I check all the doors are closed, yeah?
Yeah.
But I've also got legal responsibilities concerning the seat belts.
Yeah. Okay, so you're responsible for anyone under the age of 14. Make sure they've always got their seatbelts
Yeah.
on. Anyone over the age of 14 is responsible for themselves, but you've still got them on your conscience in your car seat.
Yeah, so I've got a moral responsibility of anybody else not wearing a seatbelt, yeah?
Yeah. Yeah.
And the best rule is, I've got somebody sitting in the back and they don't wear the seatbelt, well then they don't get a ride.
Mm.
But the simple fact is that if there is an accident, the people in the back not wearing the seatbelt can actually kill me or my front seat passenger, yeah?
Yeah. Yeah, that's written there as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's a matter of just going down and all the information's there,
Mhm.
but you have to read it.
Yeah. Yeah.
How does that feel?
Like I need practice.
Yeah, and that's what it's all about, is practice makes perfect. You had a good old stab at doing most of that on your own. Yeah?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so you drove me here.
Mhm.
You talked about the steering. I had a little joke here, and I'm always going to have a little joke at you, very bossy, yeah?
Mhm.
That's what it's all about. You need to keep control of me, innit?
Mhm. Yeah.
If you don't push me to watch you, I won't watch you, will I?
No. No.
Yeah, so you're explaining about the procedure that you recommend, which is the pull and push. It's not compulsory, yeah?
Mhm.
I could actually overarm steer, providing I don't lose control of the steering. But the reason I always use for using the pull and push is that it keeps my arms from being in front of the airbag, yeah?
Right. Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
But you know, if I want to cross my hands, it's I'm not doing anything wrong. And then the steering's power assisted on this car, which makes it really light, yeah?
Yeah. There was a question you asked me there, and I had no idea what the answer was. I just said it's mechanically. What? I can't remember what the question was.
I said,
I said the car's mechanically got power steering.
well, I said the steering appears to be very light.
Yes.
Yeah? Because don't
And I said
forget,
it's got power steering, and you said, what's that? I don't know. It's just.
yeah, because don't forget, we are actually still in an era where if I was to get and buy a car after passing my driving test in a couple of months' time,
Mhm.
I could actually still end up buying a car that hasn't got power steering, couldn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You know, so, power steering hasn't been in that long that every car is going to have it. There's loads of cars that are probably just around about a 10-year-old mark. You know, I could actually buy a Fiesta, which is the same make as the Ford Fiesta, but an older model than this, that doesn't have power steering.
Mhm.
And I'd be getting in there and I'd be thinking, why is the steering so different than it is in my instructor's car, yeah?
Mhm.
And that's why I gave you the question about, the steering seems to be very light. Because when I sit next to my brother, he's really struggling to get the car around there. Yeah, so it's good to mention the power steering, isn't it? And it's also good to mention that the amount of steering that you're using.
Right. Yeah.
You know, you're only just moving very slightly here, so you're only just turning it a little bit. Or turn around the corner, you're turning it a lot more, yeah? So it's all detailed, yeah?
Yeah.
And then as soon as we get into the road, and obviously I've got to tell you that is a suitable road.
Right, then I said keep your seat.
Yeah,
Don't take your seat back.
Yeah, just keep your hands in your lap. Yeah, you don't be taking a seatbelt off, do you?
No. Okay.
And we're not just doing it because, it's a role play scenario. It's pupils will do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, yeah, we take a real pupil out on the first lesson, and as soon as you say to them, right, we're going to pull up along here, Johnny. Before you know it, Johnny's got a seatbelt off, hasn't he? And on some occasions, Johnny may even have the door open just as you're coming to a stop, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's keen to get across to the seat, isn't he?
Yeah.
That makes sense?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Right, so you had a little go at it there today, and we will be coming back to this, and it will get easier, yeah?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah? And you have got the videos to watch.
Yeah. Okay.
Right, so you can have relaxed. I'll give that a pause.
Okay.